Welcome back, football fans. What a weekend it was on the channel, and what a weekend of football as well. Friday's video filled with winners, as was Sunday's video. Well done if you were on any of these selections. And well done to this user as well, because you have won OddAlerts Pro, the tool that we use to find those very selections. You commented on the previous video, so well done for that. And the same applies for this video. As you can see from the graphic behind me, we are focusing on the Champions League today. And I've got a question for you to make it real easy to enter. Atalanta, Club Brugge. Club Brugge coming into this with a 2-1 victory from the first leg. But they're away at Atalanta tonight. Who's going to go through out of that one? I don't think it's as easy to call as some of the other games like Bayern Munich against Celtic, for example. Only one team going through in that game, and some Celtic fans may disagree with me there. But Atalanta, Club Brugge, who's going through? Get your comments in down below for your chance to win OddAlerts Pro. We've also got some games from the EFL and the National League, and we will be ending this video with a segment that people have craved ever since it was last featured, Man versus Machine. So if you're ready, without further ado, let's get into it. We will start with the Champions League, but stay tuned because, as I mentioned in the intro, we have the EFL, we have the National League tonight, and we've also got the Bet Slip Generator, Man vs Machine, making a return. Feyenoord away from home. I don't think it is in their DNA this season, shall we say, to just simply protect the 1-0 lead that they have. I think there will be goals in this game. This is the early kickoff, incidentally. Benfica, another team that has a 1-0 lead in this second leg. Monaco. This is the game that I look at and I think it's a bit more straightforward. I think Benfica will progress. Bayern Munich, Celtic. Look, they are heavy favourites, Bayern Munich. They had a big game at the weekend. We'll take a look at the data in a moment to see how much that may affect them. Celtic obviously prepared by pummeling someone in Scotland, as they usually do. And Atalanta, Club Brugge. I asked you in the intro, get your comments in, get your predictions in. Who's going through out of this one? I think this is the toughest game to call by some distance. Atalanta and Club Brugge, both quite impressive in moments this season, especially in the Champions League. Club Brugge, I think, surprising a lot of people last week, and this season, of course. But Atalanta more than capable of putting 4 past them tonight. So they are Tuesday's games, and I'll just say now as well, if this video gets 500 likes, I'll be here on Wednesday to do Wednesday's games as well. So get your comments in, get your likes clicked or whatever. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and we are now going to dig into the data for these games, starting with Atalanta, Club Brugge. Now, in the 4 home games that they played in the Champions League group stage, they conceded just 3 goals, but they also failed to score in a couple of those games, clean sheet in 3 out of 4 games, and in general their defensive record across the Champions League was pretty good. You can see that 2 defeats came at the hands of Real Madrid and Club Brugge. They played Barcelona, Madrid, Stuttgart, Celtic, Donetsk and Arsenal in terms of the decent opposition that they played. Club Brugge, Atalanta, City, Juventus, Sporting, Celtic, Villa, Milan. This is what I mean about them being impressive, giving some of these teams very good games indeed. Keeping things tight when they need to as well, especially at home. And it's quite a big thing to note that the away form and the home form for Club Brugge is quite different in the Champions League. So how much will that impact tonight? I think Atalanta will look to get at them pretty quickly and just get that first goal back, get the crowd on their side, whereas Club Brugge will try and do the complete opposite, keep it tight, keep it 0-0 for as long as possible, try and nick a goal. Like I said with Feyenoord are the team that will just try and attack and try and get that goal and get 2-3-0, make sure they go through, whereas Club Brugge, they've got to be sensible. If they go gung-ho in this game, Atalanta are the kind of team that can pick you off. Atalanta could get 2, 3, 4 goals in this game, no doubt about that. Club Brugge away from home, they've conceded in 3 of 4 games in the Champions League so far. Conceded 3 at City, 1 at Celtic, 3 at Milan, and their only victory came against Sturm Graz. So the probability model is giving us implied odds of 1.68 for over 2.5 goals. That is 59%, just under 60%. We can take a look at the odds at the moment, 1.52. So you can see the bookies here are really favouring Atalanta for this game. And a 1-0 victory over 90 minutes doesn't make them go through because there is the possibility of extra time. BTTS 1.78. And I'm guessing that over 1.5 goals is not going to be worth it. 1.2. If we scroll down to just see more here, 1.65 for over 2.5 goals. I'm quite liking BTTS at the moment. We'll have a look on Bet365 to see the full range of markets. Just incidentally as well, we're talking about cards, we're talking about Jeopardy. Look at the data here. Now this is just based on the away form and the home form in the Champions League. We can look at the last 25 games in a moment to just see a comparison, but certainly in the Champions League, not many cards at all at home for Atalanta, where they have really done a good job of keeping things tight. Over 2.5 cards in just 25% of games. They have received a card in 3 of the 4 games, same with Club Brugge, but if we're just looking at the averages and the amounts received and the opponents received, there has been much more in Club Brugge's games. And this game especially, Atalanta are going to be all over them. I think Club Brugge will get the most cards. We've not checked out the odds yet, but let's take a look now. So, Club Brugge to get the most cards, 1.83. That's going straight in my basket, as they say, in the meme sphere. And we will now jump back to the site to keep cracking on and digging into some more data. So 1.83, let me know what you think about that in the comments. Any comment automatically entered into a draw to win OddAlerts Pro. And the next game we are going to look at, I think, will be Bayern Munich against Celtic. Let's take a look at this one then. And straight off the bat, we'll take a look at the odds because I think Bayern Munich 1.17. 1.17. Do you think Celtic can actually do this? Is there going to be a historic comeback on the cards here for Celtic? I think not. I think absolutely not. The odds are that for a reason. Bayern Munich at home, they've scored 9 against Zagreb, 1 against Benfica, 1 against PSG, and 3 against Slovan Bratislava. So I guess you're trying to estimate where does Celtic rank between those teams. They're certainly not as good as PSG, certainly not as good as Benfica. But are they better than Zagreb and are they better than Slovan Bratislava? So where do they go and how many will Bayern Munich score against them? Celtic's form in the Champions League is not that bad at all, to be honest. 3 defeats and they came to Dortmund, Villa and Bayern Munich, of course. And the Villa game, they were impressive. They were pretty good in that game in moments, of course. And I'm sure they will get some chances tonight, but you've got to take your chances and you've also got to defend really well. You've got to be switched on for the whole 90 minutes because this Bayern Munich team can hit you from any angle at any time. And Leverkusen went to Munich and drew 0-0 at the weekend, and that was the first time that they dropped points since late January when Feyenoord beat them. But at home, their record looks like this. The only defeat in recent times came to Leverkusen in the DFB Pokal. Is that the FA Cup, isn't it, or something in Germany? 1-0 defeat there. They are imperious at home in terms of goal scoring. How many will they score tonight? Again, I'm not really feeling adding this to the slip because the odds will be terrible, I feel. But let's go and take a look. So the markets that I would be taking a look at potentially, BTTS 1.8. I think it's still quite risky though. Bayern Munich could just win this game 1-2-0, quite comfortable. Team to get the most, where is that? Because corners as well, 1.16. Again, yeah, not worth it. Shots on target, 1.05. 1.025 for just general shots. Not worth it unless you believe Celtic can cause an actual upset, which is fine as a single, I guess. 1.44 for both teams to receive a card. Again, if Bayern Munich just control this game from the first minute, as is very, very possible, then that bet could go out the window, and at those odds you would not appreciate that if you put it onto a slip. So maybe a sort of far-fetched bet builder on this game in isolation is best, just to have a bit of fun. Harry Kane to score or assist, 1.28. The bookies are not giving Celtic much of a chance in this game, and to be honest, neither am I. Will I be wrong? Let me know in the comments. Now let's jump to another game. So Milan, Feyenoord, they say don't bet on the early, but I'm going to do it anyway because I feel there will be goals in this game. It's perfectly set up. Let's take a look at Milan's recent record at home. They've scored in every game in the Champions League across all competitions. This is their home form. This is set up for a cracking game. And Milan, at that stadium, they will be right behind the team. Feyenoord away from home. As I said, they are not in the best shape at the moment, but this is everything for them tonight. This is the massive jeopardy that we love. I think there'll be cards in this game. I think there'll be goals in this game. Let's take a look at the probability model. Home win just over evens, away win 3.5. Over 2.5 goals, 1.65 implied odds. And in reality, we can see that the bookies are massively favouring AC Milan in this game. Maybe given the recent form, BTTS is 1.95 with Bet365. That is enticing. That is quite appealing to me. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. I did not expect it to be that high. I'll be honest, I thought it would be around 1.5, 1.6. So is that a value bet? BTTS 1.69. It absolutely is a value bet. Feyenoord, can they improve? Because to be honest, away from home in the Champions League, they have scored 19 goals, 2.11 across their whole campaign. And Milan, we can see there, they have scored in every single home game they've played. As I said, it is beautifully set up, this game. And let's just take one more look at the results in the Champions League. Certainly at home, scored in every game. They've not played amazing teams apart from Liverpool, which they lost. You see some of the games that teams have played this season, some of them have had a really, really tough draw, whereas others, you know, it's been fine and they've been able to get into the playoffs. Feyenoord, again, away from home, they conceded 6 at Lille in the previous game, but just instantly you can see that they've had a tougher run, haven't they, away from home. Lille, City, Benfica, Girona as well. So let me know what you think about this one in the comments. We're going to now jump to Bet365. So BTTS, the odds comparison tool, was not lying to us. It is 1.95, just under evens for a game like this where, as I said at the start and as I just maintain, I don't think Feyenoord will sit back and just try and absorb pressure, because ultimately it will lead to a goal for AC Milan, which is not what you want. A double chance for AC Milan or draw, yeah, the bookies really are seeing this going one way, with AC Milan certainly winning after 90 minutes, 1.33. If we look at to qualify, 1.53 for AC Milan. I'm not sold on AC Milan. I've seen them a few times this season and they've been fantastic in moments, and then they've also been really they really struggle to create chances in moments as well when I've watched them. So let's hope this game delivers for the goals. Over 1.5 goals, 1.2. What I'm going to go with is BTTS in this game, and I'm also going to go with both teams to get a card depending on the odds. We'll see. So BTTS, and then we'll see both teams to get a card. It gets us to 2.22. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest, just for the risk. And then we have Club Brugge to get the most cards, and AC Milan Feyenoord BTTS 3.57. If you know me, if you've watched the channel, you'll know that for me is enough. As a double, 3.57 is pretty good in terms of the price. I was going to add the EFL games and the National League games that I'm going to look at in a minute, but I'm quite happy with that as a double. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. What are you on for tonight? Have I missed any statistics? Is there any trends or streaks that I should know about? Get it in the comments. Let the community know. And with that, we will now jump to the site once more. So Benfica, Monaco, as I said, I think that one is a little bit more straightforward. I think Benfica have the quality to progress, and I think they will progress. So what we're going to do now is jump to England, because I've actually saved a couple of games in my favourites on the site. So the first is Wrexham. Wrexham, I just think, I've said it a few times on the channel, if you can get Wrexham at these odds, it's always worth taking, and these are the odds, 2.29 peak with Pinnacle. If we look at the probability model, the model is actually a little bit more siding with the bookmakers on this one, but the general football fan, and every time we have mentioned this on the channel this season, whenever Wrexham have been over evens, they have delivered the goods in terms of a victory. Now, usually, I think it's just crazy pricing. But this one, they are playing Leyton Orient, who are a pretty good team in League One. There's no doubt about that. And it comes also after Wrexham lost their first home game in, I think, over a year. So there is that you should weigh up. BTTS is an option here, given that they are conceding at the moment. They've conceded in 5 of the last 6 games. And Leyton Orient, this is their run. As I say, they are pretty good. So there is definitely reason for these odds. But that said, Wrexham at home, more than capable of getting the win. Let me know if you're going to jump on this one. Maybe the double chance. Maybe we can find a nice little double between these games that I have earmarked for tonight. I just wanted to show you because I just think they're interesting games to take a look at. Whether you jump on them or not, it's up to you. But Wrexham, Leyton Orient, always worth noting, always worth sharing with you when they are that price. And yeah, BTTS is an option, isn't it? Just given how well Leyton Orient are playing. They are 6 in the table. If we take a look at the table, we can see Birmingham doing well. It's pretty tight, isn't it? And they would love to cement their place in the playoffs, and there's a long way to go still, but this game in hand could put them 3 points clear of Bolton Wanderers, and it could also take them above Huddersfield Town as well, who got an important win and were included on our winning selection for Saturday. So we'll take a look at Barnet, and then we will go to Bet365 and put together a double, or try to. I'm not going to force anything between these two teams. And again, this is a game that I just wanted to show you on the channel, on the prediction show, because it is a fascinating game. It is a 6-pointer between Barnet and York City. And you can see Barnet, I found this from one of my filters, my home win filters. They are unbeaten this season at home, but if you just look at York City, they've also picked up 2.1 points per game away from home. That is very good going. If we look at the table, we can see actually this table is sorting by the average, which makes it a little bit confusing, but it is sorting by the average. But we can see Barnet are top. They've got 67 points, but they played 2 games more. So this game is a massive, massive game, and it's a 6-pointer, no doubt about that. They are 4 points clear at the minute. Today they can go 7 points clear with a win, Barnet. What is the outcome of this one going to be? I think York City will be desperate not to lose. And Barnet have not lost in a very long time. Since the 22nd of October, against who else? York City, 3-1 defeat. They have not lost since that game, whereas York City, there is a few more losses scattered in there. And away from home, it's just not as good, is it? Their form is just not as good. So what are the odds saying for this one? If we look at the full-time result markets, as expected, yeah, 1.92. I thought it was going to be a bit higher so that we could maybe go double chance, but not to be. We will take a look at the probability model as well, so 1.61. So straight away, this is a value bet with the model. We can do a simulation, gives us a 2-1 Barnet victory. And let's now take a look at Bet365 and see if there's anything we can put together from both of these games. So as I've said before, Wrexham at over evens, I think it's always worth taking, maybe even as a single. If you'd have done it all the way through the year, you would be profitable. Every time we've mentioned it on the channel, they go and get a 1-2-0 win. This game is a little bit different because of the quality that they are playing. Leyton Orient are a very, very good team. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals for this one, and this second slip, it's going to be a little bit more for fun, a little bit more speculative, a little bit more higher odds. When I say higher odds, I don't mean 100 to 1. I would never do that. But as you can see, any double for me that has a base of 2.2, you know, it's going to be a little bit more speculative. So over 2.5 goals, I'm hoping that that game gets a little bit out of hand. 3-2 Wrexham, 3-1 Wrexham or something. I do favour Wrexham in this game. I just think they are so strong at home, and they are, I think, going to go up in second place. I think Wickham will stumble a little bit. Now let's search for Barnet, and Barnet York 1.85 as we saw. Interesting game, this one. BTTS is a possible option, but I'm actually going to go with Barnet to win. But I'm going to encourage you to try and find better odds, because there are better odds than this, as we saw on the odds comparison tool. I just use Bet365 because it's the cleanest UI for actually mocking up these selections for you, but I always then shop around for better prices, as you should as well. So 4.07, Barnet to win, and over 2.5 goals in the Wrexham Leyton Orient game. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. You could go for the straight win for Wrexham as well. Double chance for Wrexham potentially as well. Would be a nice little selection. Let's see what that gets us, and we will take a look. I'm still going to go for the over 2.5 goals, but I'm just curious. Double chance or draw no bet is usually a decent option. 1.36 gets you to 2.52, so you are reducing a little bit of the risk there. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and of course, try and get evens or 1.95 as we saw is available. I think it was on Pinnacle, wasn't it? So that means that I'm sure other bookmakers will be hovering around that price. Barnet and Wrexham over 2.5 goals. Let's jump back to the site because we're going to do man versus machine. So it's been a while, hasn't it? We're going to go for odds of, let's say, 3s, because that's what our latest slip was. 2 items in the slip, and in terms of the odds, let's say we will allow 1.4 to 1.9. I am going to disable the leagues that I have selected. We're going to allow it to select any leagues that it wants for this one. And we're going to sort by probability. Do we do value bets only? Let's see what we get for the next 24 hours. We'll allow the full-time result. We'll allow over 1.5 goals, over 2.5 goals. Yeah, let's do that. Let's also throw in BTTS because we've been working with BTTS in this video. We hit get, and we get some games here. So 44% value in this one. We've got a game 1:30 today. We've got a game at 4 p.m. today. We've got this Algeria game here, so this is the one I'm going to go with just because that game is a little bit early. Some of you might be watching this on your dinner break or something. This one, we've got a 4 p.m. game from Algeria's Liga 1 and CS Constantine at home, 1.8, which represents value, and then over 1.5 goals in the Copa Libertadores at 30 minutes past midnight on Wednesday, so plenty of time to get that one on. And 1.52 for over 1.5 goals represents value. It is a cup competition, of course, but we are going to trust the model given the massive amounts of data that it processes for these value bets. So this is our selection, and this is the bet slip generator linked in the description if you want to try this out. It's working off the probability model which powers the value betting, so you know, you can trust it to provide sensible selections for you. I'm looking at doubles here, but you could put in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever you want. I would not suggest a tenfold unless it's for fun from a free bet or something, but completely up to you. This is our selection on man versus machine. So is my Champions League selection going to beat this one? Let me know in the comments, and of course let me know who's going to go through out of Atalanta and Club Brugge. If you want another video tomorrow, you know what to do. Hit the like button. See you in the next one.